Imagine a single drop of fresh milk falling into a bucket on a quiet farm. That creamy white liquid might seem unremarkable at first, but it's the beginning of a journey that has fascinated people for thousands of years. The transformation from milk to cheese is not just a recipe. It's a carefully choreographed dance between nature, chemistry, and human ingenuity. Cheese making takes a perishable, everyday product and turns it into something with countless flavors and textures that can last for months or even years. Let's peel back the layers of this process, step by step, to reveal how humble cow's milk turns into something as simple as mozzarella or as complex as sharp cheddar. Along the way, think about how each stage, no matter how small, contributes to the magic on your cheese board. First, consider the milk itself. Not all cows give the same milk. Factors like diet, breed, even the season create subtle differences in flavor, fat content, and protein. Skilled cheese makers often source their milk locally, seeking quality and character that will shine through in the final product. Some cheeses are made from only the morning's milking, or from cows grazing on wildflowers rather than silage. These small differences at the start ripple through every stage of cheese making. The next critical moment is standardization and pasteurization. Here, the milk is gently heated to a specific temperature to kill any unwanted microbes and create a stable starting point. Some artisanal cheeses skip this step, relying on raw milk's natural flavors, but with greater risk. It's like setting a blank canvas for the rest of the process. Imagine the difference between painting on a clean surface and one with hidden marks. The end result will never be quite the same. Once the milk has been prepared, it's time for coagulation. This is the phase where milk transforms from liquid to solid, its first big leap toward becoming cheese. The hero here is rennet, an enzyme traditionally extracted from the stomach lining of young calves, but often produced via fermentation these days. When added to the milk, rennet triggers a chain reaction. Proteins called caseins begin to clump together, forming a soft, custard-like gel. This is called curd. Reflection on this passage. There's something quietly extraordinary about this transformation. That moment when a liquid suddenly thickens, almost as if by magic, is a testament to the way humans observe, harness, and direct the secret workings of nature. Coagulation is ancient technology, surviving thousands of years for one simple reason: it works. Watching milk set into curd connects us to a tradition far older than writing, but the journey isn't over yet. The curd now sits in a vat, but it can't stay there forever. The next stage, cutting the curd. Knives, wires, or special blades slice the soft mass into pieces. The size of these pieces matters more than you might imagine. Smaller curds release more whey, resulting in a firmer cheese. Larger curds hold more moisture for a softer texture. Think about the difference between a spongy, moist brie and a crumbly parmesan. It all starts here in how the curd is cut. After cutting, the curds are gently heated and stirred. This encourages them to give up even more whey. Think of whey as the watery part left over after the solid parts begin to set. The combination of heat and motion contracts the curds, making them firmer and a bit smaller. Here's where precise timing and temperature come into play. Too hot or too cold, too long or too short, and you get cheese that's dry, rubbery, or just plain odd. Reflecting on this passage, the cheesemaker's skill is in reading all the subtle signs: how quickly the curds knit together, how much whey seeps out, whether they squeak in the pot. It's part science, part intuition, and sometimes feels as much luck as calculation. Imagine standing over a vat, watching curds change from cloud-like clumps to glossy, elastic nuggets. Every batch is a chance to sense, adjust, and learn something new. With the curds firm and distinct, it's time to expel more whey. This can involve ladling curds into molds or draining through cheesecloth. Gravity does much of the work. Sometimes light pressure helps, but the weight and time vary dramatically by cheese style. Soft cheeses might be barely pressed, while hard cheeses like Gouda and cheddar could be pressed for hours or days under hefty blocks of steel. Think of this like sculpting. The cheesemaker is shaping not just the look, but the entire structure of the cheese. The rate at which whey leaves impacts everything from shelf life to how well the cheese melts. Pressing isn't just about making the cheese firm. It's about locking in the microscopic network that will develop flavor over time. Salt enters the scene next. Sometimes it's sprinkled across the curds right after draining. In other styles, the new cheese is soaked in a salty brine. Salt doesn't just add taste. It helps drive out remaining moisture, slows down certain bacteria, and sets the rhythm for how the cheese will age. Too little salt, and cheese might spoil before it develops flavor. Too much, and you get a dry, harsh product. Salt is a regulator, a preservative, and a flavor architect, all in one. Reflecting for a moment, it's easy to forget how much chemistry is happening in something that appears so simple. Every grain of salt is a messenger, changing the pace of life within the cheese. Its effects can be measured in months, even years, as cheese matures. The cheesemaker isn't just seasoning. They're laying a foundation for time and bacteria to work together. Now, some cheeses are ready to eat almost immediately. Think fresh mozzarella, ricotta, or cream cheese. But most types are just beginning their maturation. This is the aging phase, or affinage. The cheese is stored in conditions that control temperature, humidity, and airflow. Sometimes it's flipped, brushed, or washed with brine, or even wine. Fuzzy white blooms or blue veins might be encouraged to spread across the surface, or through the interior. It's a carefully curated environment, designed to nurture the cheese's full flavor. Aging might take a week or two, or stretch for months or years. The longer a cheese ages, the more complex its flavors become. Sharpness, nuttiness, earthiness, crystals that crunch under your teeth, all are born in this quiet, dark space. In fact, the maturation room is like a time capsule, capturing the milk's original character and the cheesemaker's decisions, then magnifying them with every passing day. Let's step back and reflect. Cheese, at its core, is a story of patience and transformation. From a few liters of milk with nothing more than controlled heat, a dash of starter culture, and the right timing, cheese becomes a living food. It moves from soft custard to resilient, aromatic wedge through little more than careful attention and expert rhythm. Think about this when you see a wheel of cheese at the shop or slice into an aged cheddar. Each step, from choosing the milk to aging, brings a decision that can't be reversed. There's no undo button. Once the curd is cut, that moisture can't return. Once salt is added, the clock on aging starts ticking. Cheesemaking is about embracing change, guiding it, and sometimes surrendering to what nature decides. It's easy to taste cheese and focus on the end result. Sharpness, creaminess, a whiff of earth, or a tang of grass. But behind every flavor is a checklist of moments. The quiet farm, the gently heated vat, the careful hands at the press, the cool aging room's steady hush. Even today, as machines and consistency play bigger roles, many of these steps are still performed by people whose senses guide every batch. As you reflect on the transformation of milk to cheese, imagine the hidden hands in each bite, the decisions made, The risks taken, the patience practiced. Cheese is proof that with enough care and curiosity, even the most common can become something extraordinary. A perfect blend of science and art, preserved in every slice. A new day begins as the sun rises softly over the quiet farm, shimmering dew glistening atop lush green grass. Milking begins. A cow stands patiently as the cheesemaker collects fresh milk into a clean steel bucket, careful and gentle in motion. The fresh milk is swiftly transferred from the milking shed to a modern cheese-making vat, preserving its delicate qualities. In the cheese vat room, the vessel is sterilized and checked. Conditions of humidity and temperature are carefully monitored. Milk is gently warmed. Pasteurization begins to ensure safety and consistency. Starter cultures are added, infusing the warm milk with beneficial bacteria to begin the flavor and texture development. As the milk reaches optimal temperature, rennet is introduced. The transformation to curd begins as proteins coagulate. The milk's transformation is observed with awe, clouds of curd forming, dense and soft. The curd is cut into precise cubes. Whey begins to pool. Every size influences the cheese's end texture. Heating and stirring begins. Curds shrink and harden. Whey drains further. Temperature control becomes critical. Cheesemaker tests curd firmness by gently squeezing a cube, noting resistance, assessing readiness for molding. Firm curds are ladled into round molds lined with cheesecloth, excess whey draining through mesh. Light pressure is applied. Blocks of steel weights press cheese gently, sculpting its final shape. Gravity and pressure combine as whey leaves. The cheese's structure and shelf life are affected. Salt is sprinkled or brined, drawing moisture and setting the stage for aging. Salted cheese is transferred to the cellar for aging. Conditions carefully monitored for optimal ripening. Cheese ages for weeks, months, or years. Flavors and textures deepen in the cool hush. After aging, the finished cheese is ready for slicing and sale. A final transformation. A cheese board awaits. Flavors, textures, and memories from a single drop of milk are represented in every slice.